I mentioned above that our subconscious minds work very effectively and tend not to modify information they have imprinted in the past. As they only imprint the information they found to be very important, they try not to modify the ones already imprinted. This is also because they imprint such information with strong emotions. However, this does not mean that the imprinted information will never be modified. When our subconscious minds feel the imperative to modify, they will surely do so. In such cases, the key question that should be asked is, in which situations our subconscious minds feel the need to modify the information they have already imprinted? I will sum up the answer in one simple sentence. If we go through the experiences that are different from what we went through in the situations identical to the ones we encountered in the past, our subconscious minds will try to modify the imprinted information. This is because our subconscious minds have a tendency to modify when they detect discordant experiences. To make you understand this more easily, I will talk about the concept of synchronization. When you are surfing the internet, your browser compares the past and renewed records of yours. Or you can press the refresh button to check the current validity of data you found in the past. This is very important. It is necessary to continuously verify and update the information you have in accordance with the changing situation. Your subconsciousness should also check the current validity of the information it has imprinted in the past. It needs to continuously synchronize the psychological narratives it created in the past and check their effectiveness. If it receives the reactions and feedback identical to the ones it has been receiving during its synchronization process, it will likely to conclude that it is okay to keep its old ways. Your subconscious mind will employ a mechanism that maintain, rationalize, and reinforce the existing psychological narratives. During this synchronization process, the repetition of your OCD symptoms will reinforce the pre-established reactions. Your subconscious mind will start to believe that what you are feeling is real and rationalize that your OCD symptoms are the reactions created to pacify the situation you are in. This is a repetitive recognition of the validity of your fear and anxiety. As your subconscious mind finds repetition very important, a vicious cycle that hinders your OCD recovery is created. OCD is developed when a person refuses to change the faiths he/she has, even though the situation he/she is in changes. Thus, if the situation you are in changes, you need to find the flexibility to change your thoughts and faiths in accordance with the changed situation. It is your inflexible mind that tries to hold on to your old psychological narratives that has been aggravating your anxiety. Now, let's take a look at the criteria our subconscious minds use to modify the imprinted information. They are related with the concept of going through experiences different from what we went through in the situations identical to the ones we encountered in the past. To change our subconscious minds, as a prerequisite, we need the situation identical to the ones we encountered in the past. Let's go back to the analogy of a computer file. Let's say that in your computer, there is a file containing your secrets. You will not be able to modify the contents of that file by just turning your computer on. You need to find and open the file to fix and rewrite its content. Our minds work in the same way. You cannot modify your subconsciousness by just providing stimulus it needs. Like opening the file you want to fix, you need to access the scene that you want to rewrite. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to the past. I already told you that our subconscious minds memorize information in the form of symbolized images. This is the reason why you can also use the symbolized images that overlap with the ones you already have to access the scene. In other words, this means that you will have to create a symbolic scene that can overlap with the scene you want to modify. These scenes do not have to be exactly the same. To do this, it is better for you to go into a trance-altered state of consciousness. You need to create a fully immersed state of consciousness when you are in your counseling sessions. It is going to be hard to do so, as you are already immersed in your OCD symptoms. However, it is necessary for you to secure symbolic images. This is the concept of the situation identical to the ones you encountered in the past, the background you must set at the same time the prerequisite you need to meet, that plays a crucial role in the process of your subconsciousness modification. The second stage of your subconsciousness modification is to have discordant experiences, to have experience different from what you had. When your subconscious mind strongly feels the similarity between the current situation and the situations you experienced in the past by accessing the symbolic images it imprinted on itself, it will start to synchronize. This is the moment you open your secret file and make a decision on whether or not to fix its contents. You need to catch that moment to make a recovery. You need to have experiences completely different from the ones you had in the past to urge your subconscious mind to make changes. This is exactly the reason why you need new experiences that conflict against the ones you had in the past. These experiences are stimuli that inform your subconsciousness that it has been holding on to faulty information. This is how you can open up the cells that receive emotions and get the chance to modify your emotional memories. This is similar to the turbulence of your suppressed and hidden emotion you experienced during your counseling sessions. When such emotions are accidentally aroused, your subconsciousness will recognize them as the new reactions, signaling it to change and modify. If we compare the situation identical to the ones you had in the past with a double click to open up a file, we can say that your discordant experiences are PIN numbers that you need to type in to gain modify security rights to the file. Having a new insight is another way of having discordant experiences. By having a new insight, you will be able to go through experiences completely different from the ones you went through in the past. For example, you may come to a conclusion that you don't need to behave in the way you used to behave, as it now has become completely unnecessary. You may realize that the current situation you are in is completely different from the situation you once were. It is about being flexible. It is about understanding that you don't have to be afraid of the thing that you were afraid of in the past. You may even realize that the emotions you felt in the past were actually far from the truth. The same goes with my explanation of OCD. Finding the real causes of your OCD, the ones different from the causes you believe to be true, can be the experience completely different from the ones you had in the past. It is about acknowledging that pain is the only outcome you can get if you continue to live with your OCD, even though it must have been the reaction, the evasive action you took to protect yourself, that was necessary at the moment. However, it is about time that you realize that your past intention to protect yourself is completely useless in the present. The truth is that you will only get hurt and broken if you keep believing that your OCD is true, even if you do so for the next 50 years or so. Myriad opportunities to modify faulty information can be created through counseling. But you have to know exactly what these opportunities are to make changes in accordance with the situation and stage you are in. And, in the process, you will get to find your hidden emotions and fixed faiths. After that, you will finally be able to thaw your frozen mind by expressing the emotions you have been suppressing, and also by understanding that you have the ability to flexibly change your faiths. Only when you have experiences that urge your subconsciousness to change, you will be able to start your journey to recovery. This is the reason why you cannot heal yourself by just consciously saying the right thing and hearing the correct information. This also is the reason why the affirmations you hear in a subconscious state cannot change you. You need accurate prescriptions given at the appropriate times in the right context. This is the only way to make your treatment work. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." We must remember that even though we cannot look into our subconsciousness, other people can. The role of a counselor is to look at his/her patient's subconscious minds and to understand the way their subconscious minds are reflected on a conscious level of perception. A counselor should play the role of a mirror and assist his/her patients to see what he/she is seeing from them. A counselor has to show the patients the maps of the maze they are in. When you are caught inside a maze, you cannot tell whether or not the path you are on will lead you to the exit. However, when you look down from the outside, you will be able to see that you are going in the wrong direction if you go astray. This is the reason why you need to see the situation you are in as if you are looking down at your maze. Such progress do not occur at once. Only when you can create emotional experiences stronger than the ones that are connected with your OCD, your subconsciousness will modify your mind. However, it is almost impossible to create such experiences in real life. This is the reason why you need the alternative strategy. You need to make your subconscious mind accept the new information with continuously repeating experiences. To make changes, certain hormones have to be released. The things that create such hormones are emotions and repetitive experiences. This kind of progress is made through counseling. If you achieve such progress, you will be able to change your mind, one step at a time.